If you're watching this video, you are either wanting to study at UP, going to study at UP, or you're still deciding between universities. What's up, traumas? It's Owen, and today I'm gonna tell you guys everything that I know, that I think you should know about University of Pretoria. This is especially for people in high school, or if you're just out of high school and you're still deciding where to study. I'm gonna try and give you guys as much information as I possibly can. So before we jump into it all, I've never really made a video like this before, so bear with me, please. But I thought it would be nice, you know, to do something different and also help people who are clueless, because I was very clueless about any university for that matter. So let me quickly give you guys a layout of how this structure of this video is gonna work. I'm gonna try and keep it as close to the program as possible, but I'm a yapper, so who knows where this is going. But I'm gonna try to stick to the program, okay? So first I'm gonna tell you guys a bit about academics and the faculty and the degree. Then I'll come to the campuses and the layout of the university. I'll talk about residence life and res culture, the safety of the university, and so yeah. I'm also gonna make a separate video regarding my advice for first years. So this is more just, you know, this is just gonna be an overview of the whole university. I wanted to talk about the registration process a bit because I struggled with it. It's very confusing. I don't know why they make the system that confusing. If you guys want a video on that, I will gladly make a video based on that, but this is not today's video. Let me know in the comments, all of my 10 viewers. Let's go. Okay, so first things first, we all know that university is not the same as high school. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it, but you will realize just how different it really is. To me, that was a very big shock. No one's checking up on you, no one's there to check your homework, no one's making sure you're attending the classes. It's not chill, okay? You don't get off periods. You never get off periods, actually. UP is structured, well, most modules. It's high pressure, very demanding, and fast paced. And that brings me to my first point, which we're going to talk about the academics and the overall academic intensity and workload. So let's talk about the pace. University moves extremely fast. Guys, if you are not on top of your work, you are going to get behind. Some lecturers are covering 1 to 2 to even 3 chapters a week. That is a lot. In many of my modules, we cover 1 chapter in a class. You literally go through thick textbooks in a semester. So being behind is very much a reality for many, but don't let it scare you. You can stay on top of your work. It's very possible. Just make sure that you are attending the classes and doing the things, because no one's gonna come check up on you, okay? You are literally just a number. A lot of the lecturers also take attendance, so you will get attendance marks for being in class, and you don't have to be in class, obviously, because you decide if you want to go or do not. I genuinely think that if you want to do well, attend the class. Obviously, there are some modules that not attending class and doing the work on your own is better, but obviously depends on person to person and degree to degree. So use your time wisely. And that's the other thing. You do have a lot of time. You can make it a priority. Also, back on the attendance marks things, yes, you do get marks for attendance, but it's very, very small, and it's not going to be life-changing. If you miss out on a few attendance marks, it's okay. But I have seen in many cases that people who just pass, or who just need a few more marks to pass, they will go to the lecturers and ask where they can get more marks to pass the degree, and if you don't have a well attendance record, they will not be likely to help you. If you tend to not do well, I suggest getting those attendance marks. When the time comes and you actually need like just a little bit more, it's gonna have a very big impact. But if you do well, I've never really felt like I was missing out on marks because of lost attendance marks, but to each their own. Now, assessment structure. Guys, you will probably have multiple assignments and class tests every week, okay, from the get-go. These are continuous assessments, and they don't count as much marks as a formal test or an exam will. You want to do well in your assignments, you want to do well in your class test, your homework submissions, blah blah blah, because these are very easy marks you can get. Yes, they don't count a lot, but if you get a lot of them that are good, because there's gonna be a lot of continuous assessments, you're gonna see how that's gonna carry your grade like For real. Oh, and yes, you cannot study the day before your test. I know you might have done that in high school and it might have worked, but I'm telling you, not even the smartest people can pass if you do not study. Obviously, some modules are easier than others, but I'm telling you guys, if you don't study, you're not going to do well. Study. University of Pretoria has 4 test weeks a year, which is 2 test weeks a semester, 1 test week a quarter. You get it? All your tests are in this week, all of it. This is excluding exams, by the way. You also have to make sure that you plan well enough, because if you come to test week and you didn't prepare, you're not gonna have space to breathe and you're gonna hate yourself for not being prepared. I have some more advice that I'll give in my other video. Also, UP uses a lot of old assessments in their tests. My one module that I hated so much and despised, the test was literally the same test as the year before. Do not neglect your past papers. Okay, so let's talk about faculties and degrees. I'm just quickly gonna go through a bunch of different degrees, because when I was in high school I never knew what BA, BCom, BSc, all these weird things meant. So let me quickly give you just a quick summary of what it is. I got this from Google, so you can also go Google to check if I'm correct. BA, Bachelor of Arts. This focuses on humanities and social sciences. We've got a BCom, Bachelor of Commerce. This is like your business bros, finance bros, and a bunch of other things. BSc is Bachelor of Science. This is like your math, statistics, chemistry, computer science, those kind of things. Then BEng, Bachelor of Engineering. LLB, which is a Bachelor of Law, so this is like your law degrees. Then we also have health and professional degrees, blah blah blah. So basically the BCom or BA, that is the degree, okay? BCom marketing or BA philosophy, that thing extra is what you're specializing in. At UP, it's very flexible for you to transfer from degree to degree, especially in your first year. Like, if I'm not mistaken, you can transfer first semester the first 2 weeks, and then second semester the first 2 weeks as well, I'm pretty sure. Just make sure about the deadlines, because it changes every year. In first year, it's still flexible a lot to change from degree to degree, because a lot of the first year modules, there's not a lot of differences, but there are some degrees that you need to have done specific modules in the curriculum for you to continue with that degree. So just make sure about the prerequisites. Just go on UP's yearbook. It's gonna look exactly like this, and this is where you're gonna find all the degrees and things like that, and you can check exactly what the prerequisites are and all the modules that are in these degrees. At UP, our more demanding and high pressure degree fields are gonna be engineering, health sciences, law, accounting. This is because it has a very high dropout rate, heavy workload, and very competitive. But don't let that scare you, because if you put in the work, you're gonna make it. Some people might have to work harder than others. You have to face your reality, because it's not gonna change. I believe that if you really struggle with your degree but you also don't like it, do maybe consider a different degree. Go talk to a mentor. You can even talk to your lecturers about your career choices and things like that. UP literally has a mentor program where you can talk to mentors. They will help you, okay, because they want to help you. Back on the transferring thing, I transferred at the end of my first year. So at the beginning of my second year, I switched to a different degree, but obviously I had to catch up on some first year modules. And honestly, it's doable, okay? Yeah, it sucked, but it's doable. And now I want to come to transferring between faculties. This is a lot more harder, okay? You're not gonna just be able to transfer because you're in the university. I don't know of any person who has transferred between faculties, but I know that you can do that. You can email the university or talk to your academic coordinator, your academic orchestrator. No, what do you call it? Academic administrator. Orchestrator. You can talk to them about transferring faculties, but that's a big move because but it's still doable. I'm pretty sure UP only allows 1 transfer between faculties and 2 between degrees. If you don't know what a faculty is, think of it as a house. In the house is all the same type of degrees. Like at UP, it's EMS faculty, which is Economic and Management Sciences. This is like our BCom. Then we have Faculty of EBIT, which is our engineering house, blah, 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 engineering degrees, IT degrees, blah, blah. Faculty of Humanities, BA degrees, things like that. So it's basically the degree houses, and then inside we've got the departments of the degrees, like Department of Accounting, which is inside EMS faculty, and that's going to be where you go to when you have problems or queries about your degree. Now let's talk about UP's campuses and layout. University of Pretoria is a big university, but it's not all on the same place. We've got a bunch of campuses. The most popular one is Hatfield Campus because it is the main campus, and this is where most BCom, BA, BEng, where they all are. I don't want to say all of them. There are people that do have modules on different campuses. I never did, which sucked. We also have Groenkloof campus. This is more known as the education campus. Prinsenhof, this is for our health science degrees. And we also have the Mamelodi campus. I am not entirely sure really what happens on Mamelodi campus. On UP's website, it says it's more like it's more extended degrees and agricultural degrees. But yeah, you'll know which campus you are on. Each of these campuses have a different vibe. It's weird, but it's true. I love Hatfield. Okay, Hatfield is amazing. We have in the middle, like the main place where most people gather is called the Piazza, and almost every Thursday something happens there. You can get a lot of free stuff. I've gotten like popcorn, I can't remember the other stuff, but trust me, you can get a lot of free stuff because a lot of businesses that come to promote their businesses, and then they'll like give free energy drinks away or things like that. So it's really worth the hype to go, especially on Thursdays, but honestly every day, because there's almost always something happening in the Piazza. One time there was a concert even happening. If you ever want to know where everything is, there is a map of each of the campuses. All you have to do is you have to Google University of Pretoria Hatfield Campus, and then you just click on the link and it will show you a map of Hatfield Campus. I'll also link them down below, or if you cannot find them, it's going to be very helpful, especially if you're a first year, to know where the buildings are. Anyway, now we're going to talk about residence life and res culture. So getting into res, it's very competitive. Good marks does not guarantee placement, but you still do want good marks because that still is probably going to give you an advantage. The res culture, it's not as extreme as it used to be. A lot of traditions have been removed, but let me tell you, the res culture is not dead. Some people find res amazing, some people hate it. It honestly depends on you. UP has put a lot of rules and things in place, so you are going to be safe, okay? Obviously with res, there's a lot of things that you have to do. First years have to participate in a first year dance called InSync, which is for first years only. You're also gonna partake in a lot of different activities that are compulsory by your res, so if you don't really like that, if you want to do your own thing, you might not like res as much as the next person, but I still think it's an experience that I think that you should, if you can, do, even if it's just for a semester or just for the year. Also, if you're not in a res, you can join a day house, which I did because I couldn't go to res. It is very expensive. The day houses are basically just like the res, but on a WhatsApp group. All of the things are not compulsory. You can or you don't have to do the things. You just pay a small fee at the start of the year for the whole year, which is not bad, and then you get access to partake in all the things the day houses do, which is basically everything the res do, but you just sleep in your own home. Then private accommodation, they are very expensive, especially the closer you get to university, but it's quieter, it's more freedom, and you also don't have the compulsory activities to do as the people in res have to do. And this brings me to my next point, which is the safety of the area. This obviously depends from campus to campus. I'm going to talk about the main campus because that's just what I know. The whole university is in the whole campus is in a place, you know, it's surrounded by gates. So what do you call it? I don't know what you call it, but it's very safe inside. It's nice. There's a lot of people, they'll run inside. There's running trails, you can go run inside the university. The sports campus is also very safe. I'll say de Villiers. The area around Hatfield, it's like South Africa. You don't just go around walking at night alone or whatever. Me and my friends a lot of the times will go outside of the university campus and we'll go to a restaurant or something nearby, but we are obviously in a group and it's in daytime. If you're just aware and you don't go at crazy times, I've never had a problem, and I don't know of other people who did these things and also had a problem. And I'm not sure about the other campuses because I haven't been there myself, so I cannot tell you really what the vibe is there, but I know for Hatfield it's a pretty safe area. Just make sure you're not doing stupid things. So social life and the culture. There are lots of social things to do at the university, like so many committees you can be a part of, so many houses, clubs, blah blah blah. There are a lot of things you can sign up for, like genuinely so many societies also as well. Definitely a lot of social things to do. You can be part of sports. As far as I'm concerned, you do pay a membership for being part of a team or playing sports there. There's also a lot of clubs around in Hatfield. I don't go clubbing. I don't suggest you should go clubbing. There is a big party culture in this university, just like every other university, but there are better things you can do with your time. But anyways, that is the social and culture aspect. Let's talk about time management. I just mentioned the social and culture aspect of the university. The reason people say your high school marks are going to drop with 10% in university is because they don't study. They go party the time they should be studying. Very little students maintain a healthy work-life balance, okay? So make sure that the time you have, which is a lot, you have a lot of time, just make sure that what you're spending it on is going to give you a good return instead of shoot you in the foot. You can very easily fail, and it can easily add another year of studying. Before you know it, everyone's graduating, but you're still stuck in first year for the 8th year in a row. And it's also expensive. Am I against having fun? No. I make sure that I go out once a week. This is just to make sure that you have that balance, because you don't want to look back on your university life and see that all you've done was study. It's up to you, honestly. Financial reality. Studying is a privilege. It's really expensive and most people can't afford it. That is the reality. Not only is it your tuition, it is books, it is accommodation, it is food, it is living expenses, transport. That's why I really suggest you apply to as many bursaries and scholarships and things as you can. If you don't need to take out a loan, don't take out a loan. Obviously, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just telling you, damn, I should become a motivational speaker. This website right here is where you can find almost all the bursaries available in South Africa for South Africans. Admin and the systems. Did I get this list from ChatGPT? No? Okay, yes, maybe. The UP uses a system called ClickUp, and ClickUp is where all your modules are going to be on and all the course content and things like that. It's very nice. It's a website with everything you need. It's very easy to figure out, so I don't think I'll be mentioning anything more from that, but if you want me to, then I can obviously make a video of that as well. Then we have student portal. A lot of times lecturers will mention the student portal, and this is important to know, okay? I never knew what it was until my second semester of first year. On the university's website, when you log in with your student information in your student account, then you'll get taken to this website, and I'm gonna mention 3 of the most important ones. The most important one here is student center, and on student center you're gonna find all your academic information, everything that has to do with you being a student. Also where you can apply for res, documents that you have to upload. The second important one is your timetable. This is where you're going to find your class schedule and your test and exam schedules, and then you can obviously filter it for first semester or second semester, blah blah blah. What they'll say is you have been allocated to a venue for the test. You can check your student portal. Then you're gonna go to timetable and you're gonna filter it with tests, and then you're gonna see, oh, okay, this is the venue I'm writing at that time. But make sure that you know that is correct, because the lecturers will also say they've put out the venues on ClickUp, then you'll have to check on ClickUp. So yeah, they'll tell you. And then the third important one I also want to talk about is Tux Careers. Not a lot of people know about this thing, but guys, this is a hidden gem, which is not really supposed to be hidden, or not really hidden, but it's a gem, okay? This is where you can find out jobs from full-time to part-time to occasional to seasonal, blah blah blah. There's a lot of job adverts. It's a very convenient way to just apply for it. In 2020, what year was it? 2025, to give you an estimate of how much tutors were paid by the university. I wouldn't say the pay is very great, but I wouldn't say it's unfair. About 95 Rand an hour, and that is the same amount that all the tutors are paid, so it doesn't really matter what tutor you are. I haven't heard of a tutor who got paid more per hour. I'm not sure of how much assistant lecturers get paid. If you know of someone, let me know. Mental health and pressure. UP has this whole thing called Fly at UP. Fly stands for the finish line is yours, and this is a program to help students mentally and help them finish the degree in the correct time. So it's a nice program, especially people struggle mentally with the degree. You know, there is help. You really can get help from the university. It might feel very hard for you and overwhelming, but it should feel like that because it's a new space, it's a new environment. Everyone feels like that, okay? It's not just you. Yes, the academic pressure may be a lot. People have passed before you and you can pass as well. Burnout is a real thing and a lot of students get it, if not most students experience it. But do not let the pressure get to you to such a level that you don't feel you're gonna make it through. I'm in no way a therapist at all, but I'm just going to tell you there are people that would love to help you. So overall, University of Pretoria is a great university, especially in South Africa. It's one of the top universities in Africa, but in the end it depends on what you make of it. So I hope I covered at least most of the things about UP that you need to know before going, but more than that, I hope you are excited for this new chapter in your life, and may it be a one that brings forth many fruits and blessings. Bye.